How are things going for everyone? Greetings from the Peepo Coin channel again. The title makes it clear that we will be discussing everything related to XRP. Thank you for your support. Looking at the market as a whole, you can see that several coins have experienced a slight decline in value over the past few hours, which is evident given that Tuesday morning is quickly approaching. However, we cannot overlook what has been going on in the cryptocurrency area in the larger context. Lots of excitement and lots of green. At $2.28, the price of XRP is currently down 1.1% in USD and 0.4% in comparison to Bitcoin. The 24-hour trade volume is approximately $3.7 billion, and the evaluation is $133.4 billion. Before we continue, though, let me just quickly clarify that nothing on this channel is financial advice. Always conduct your own research and due diligence before making a cryptocurrency investment. I would really like to begin by discussing the volume of searches that Google Trends shows us. We've noticed a slight increase in Google Trends searches during the past week. Many people are seeking for XRP before everyone starts bouncing around and becoming enthusiastic. It's not true, despite popular belief. In the big scheme of things, we are still very, very low for searches worldwide if you look at the last 90 days for XRP. What does this actually teach us then? This indicates that retail interest is currently lacking. It does not imply that there is absolutely no retail interest. There will always be retail interest, of course, but we are definitely far from what we saw in this year's first quarter and fourth quarter by comparison. These are factors that we shouldn't really be ignoring, However, within the last, say, a week and a half, we are aware of what has transpired with the cryptocurrency markets as well. The market did experience a surge, which is naturally caused by Bitcoin. To be clear, Bitcoin has been retesting at 23.6, and its dominance in the fib zone is very high. Essentially, the reason altcoins are still seeing such significant increases is because, as you may already be aware, Bitcoin has increased and they have a positive correlation. However, in the big picture, institutional interest is driving this particular general run at the moment. Although I'm sure nobody is particularly grumbling, the market is still turning green again. Let's get into the update. There has been some breaking news from Canada. Greetings to all Canadians worldwide. Every single one of you is loved. This is something you can all witness for yourself. For Canada, it was a significant day. In the 2025 election, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney leads the Liberal Party to victory. The former governor of the Bank of England, who is renowned for taking a measured but critical stance on Bitcoin, has promised to position Canada as a leader in cutting-edge technology. Guess what's occurring now? Donald Trump won the US election last year. The neighbors now include Mark Carney. I was reading about this, so I know that some of the Canadian fans won't be. It is what it is, even though some people are not happy about it. He's triumphant. Again, I'm not going to share my personal political views, but this is obviously significant in terms of cryptocurrency statistics, because the individual has a good perspective on the subject. As you are aware, the US cryptocurrency business is now getting regulatory certainty. Is it likely that such will occur under Mark Carney?
Yes.
I think so. It's a massive, huge moment for cryptocurrency once more. And let's see what happens. Please share your personal opinions with me below. Regardless of your personal opinion, BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF saw its second largest inflow since its introduction on April 28, purchasing 10,360 Bitcoin for a total of $970.9 million. You're from Canada. The major players are holding their Bitcoin. Your big institutional money, or smart money, is accumulating Bitcoin as quickly as possible while retail is concentrating on other things. Can see that BlackRock has conviction and is a holder. It amuses me that grayscale people are weak-headed. Look at this, folks. FOMO Pay, a partner of Ripple Payments, has collaborated with MasterCard via virtual ID numbers, QR code rails, and no SWIFT routing numbers. As previously mentioned, Ripple is paired with some large organizations rather than some tiny ones, and it's clear which organizations these individuals prefer to collaborate with. Since MasterCard is one of the well-known brands here, you can naturally see where the blockchain industry's potential truly resides, especially with the growing demand. You can actually see where the game is solved by Ripple. From that perspective, it's really fascinating. Zoom confirms that the market is still in a bull market. Avoid being shaken out. And if you have been watching my channel from the beginning, you are aware that I have been saying this on a daily basis, even during a significant market decline, before Zoom has even announced it. I was mentioning that the market is still in a bull market. You know, you're crazy to say that, you people said. We have now returned to the Fibonacci retracement level of 23.6, and now everyone is having a good time. Everyone is bouncing around, and I'm seeing some remarks. I don't like to point fingers, but I find it hilarious since even when the market was clearly headed for a decline, I was still claiming that, historically speaking, we were still in a bull market. Once more, I find it hilarious that some of the folks who were saying I'm crazy to think that we're in a bull market are now part of the moon guys. Thus, it is what it is. In the big picture, we're still on this rising trend. We are still in a bull market if you look at the cryptocurrency market's valuation. I completely agree with Zoom's overall perspective on this. So is Bitcoin on the verge of reaching a new all-time high? Maybe. And once more, if we do surpass an all-time high, it does indicate that altcoin season may be approaching shortly thereafter, as dominance is increasing rapidly. Therefore, let's look at this. I don't see why Bitcoin can't start moving toward an all-time high. We're in the middle of a once-in-a-lifetime transition, Citi stated last year. A digital architecture is being used to repackage the financial system. You shouldn't take this time lightly, just as smart money does. As said last year, we are finally beginning to see that this is actually happening in front of our very eyes. However, let's examine the current state of the pricing. Let's examine it from an hourly perspective if you're at the dominance itself. Looking at the dominance, you can see that you have been ranging within this accumulation pattern since we broke out once more on April 21st. This range still applies to us. As a result, dominance is still extremely high. If you are currently examining Bitcoin, you should be aware that it saw a slight decline, nothing too significant. As previously said, we did return above 95,000. Over 95 we closed. Bitcoin is holding up quite well. That's good to see then. If you're looking at XRP at the moment, it's continuing rising. We hit a new yearly high, as I mentioned. If you saw my latest update, that's great. If not, that's okay too. For the first time since late March, we did manage to reach a new monthly high of $2.35. So far, everything is going well. XRP is still holding up quite well. It goes without saying that we are encountering significant opposition. As previously mentioned, you want to see this resistance turn into support so that we may retest the 23.6. However, we must proceed cautiously. Please share your thoughts with me below. I adore you all. I'll see you later.